Jesus.
No, man, producer, you're not play it right now, man. You have to ball
out. Whoa, yo. We need help, Jesus. Jamaica need help. Shift the parliament. Shift the election. Shift everything. Remove them out there. Take out the cockroach. Take out the thief. Take out the criminal them. Take out the thief them. Take out the murderer them. Take out the gang leader them. Out of parliament. Take them out from Portland. Take them out. I hear Portland. Me I go to Portland. Why me I travel to Portland? Take out somebody, man or woman.
Here is Favour Williams presenting a budget of $1.3 trillion. $1.3 trillion Favour Williams presented today, Jamaica. You heard what I said? She presented a budget of $1.3 trillion. And when I saw her and I listened to her, look how she dressed coming at the parliament. Look how she dressed coming at the parliament with a big Pharaoh chain around her neck. Look how she dressed coming at the nation parliament with the big Pharaoh chain and the red head.
Circus.
And when you heard her today, I was like, no. This not sound good. And then when I looked at the people who dressed in the parliament today, I wouldn't even start on the prime minister wife. I won't even start. But I was wondering, Jamaica, why was Rhoda Crawford not at the parliament opening? Why was Rhoda Crawford not at the parliamentary opening? Not to come? Rhoda Crawford.
Come here.
Rhoda Crawford. Look there, Jamaica. Is what that one in the blue. And is what that Dora the Explorer. Look there. Look at what that Bruce Golding daughter in her. That's the whole heap of green. She look like Green Lantern. No, she look like Green Lantern, man. See Bruce Golding daughter with moped right there, so. Crystal Lee. Them don't tell you, say it look too puggy. No, man, you look like, puggy. It too.
Yeah, girl talk.
No, man, Crystal Lee. Is what that you wearing? Babsy. Oh, God, Babsy is what that. No. Babsy, somebody ask who do your makeup if I what kind of formula you wear. Them say, no, them say the makeup look like when you puff the dead. As somebody said it to me, said the makeup look like number 5. When you makeup look like number 5. And you know you pat the makeup on your face. Kamina, you never look bad today. Kamina, Dana Morris Dixon, you did have tried too hard. The suit didn't need for taking that oversized coat, Olivia Pope style. They never did that fit you. You see, if you didn't even try, on the one statement, look on the PNP woman then. Look on the Lordy. No. Look on the PNP. Lisa Anna Loan versus the Labour right there. Look on Lisa Anna versus the Labour. You see the stark difference? You see the power motion? You see the power? And what that oversized dress Julietta wear like she pregnant?
Ball out!
And then Mala, who with them excessive frill in the pink. Then Sapphire Langmore in that velvet looking suit. No, velvet, And then when you look on the boot with Sapphire Langmore, them say it's selling no, PLS, the when I'm saying look like I want peerless, a winter velvet. Aye!
What is springs? Fearless?
No, them says peerless boot. Nothing do wrong with peerless in Jamaica. Nothing do wrong with peerless, but time and occasion, man. Sophisticated. When you the parliament requires pomp and pageantry. You know, if you look Jamaica, is what that the only one where look good amongst the labor right them and come in at Jansen Smith, you know. Rhoda. Jamaica, let us pray for Miss Crawford. I heard that she's not doing well at this time. So let us pray for Rhoda Crawford. Let us pray for her. I don't know what are the illnesses or the sickness or why she's in the hospital, but I can tell you, Jamaica, several parliamentarians who looking for her. All who in the opposition we go there every day. Me see the picture there. All who in the opposition we go look for Rhoda at daytime. I hear about what go on, but I not talk it. I am not talking it, Jamaica. She make sure she have high security. Hey, Lord God. But then when I look at some of the outfits, you know, the outfits are clear signs of recession dressing. You know, when you can't afford it fully, Courtney, you have to mix and match and back. You have to put it together. But Jamaica, the worst dress for the parliament this year would go to Bruce Golding's daughter in that Green Lantern business. And Sapphire Longmore for a former Miss Universe. That outfit that you put on, our Miss World, that green velvet business where you put on, Dr. Morrison, that suit didn't need to take in by at least. You should have got call Carlton Brown and go get that suit. They go stitch up. Cause that they oversized something where you are wearing already, you know. But size 13. That they puffy. Remember you're puffy already, you know. So you should have find something for slender your body. But Jamaica, I leave it at that for now. But where am I going tonight, Jamaica? The government, listen to what the government say about what them plan to do. Listen what the government said them plan to do for this year's budget. Listen to Stedman Fuller speaking on behalf of the government of Jamaica today. Listen to him.
Moore's parish status dominated headlines inside the Gordon House this week. And Thursday's throne speech provided another opportunity for the government to outline its plans for Portmore in the 2025-2026 fiscal and legislative year. Portmore's infrastructure, they say, remains a top priority.
The Portmore Resilience Park is scheduled for completion by 2025-2026.
In related infrastructure plans, Western Jamaica boasts one of the biggest road projects expected to be completed within the next year.
The Montego Bay Perimeter Road is on track for completion by mid-2026.
The Montego Bay Perimeter Road could be used by some of the buses as set to be purchased for the JUTC in a matter of weeks.
Public transportation will see an additional $3 billion investment with 100 more buses. procured and slated for delivery by July 2025.
That investment in power-efficient buses forms part of the government's renewable energy plan, a move likely to expand with a major international partnership.
A memorandum with the Canadian Nuclear Laboratory will explore nuclear energy integration.
Jamaica's healthcare sector is also expected to benefit from the additional renewable energy investments.
The US $4 million energy security investment will install 6,368 rooftop solar panels across 6 hospitals and 16 government facilities, saving 5 million kilowatt hours annually.
And staying with the health sector, experts in the past week warned that the closure of USAID could have dire implications for Jamaica, in particular the HIV and AIDS fight locally. But the government says it will build on last year's work.
In 2024, Jamaica achieved a historic milestone by eliminating mother-to-child transmission of HIV and congenital syphilis.
The government also claimed Jamaica is the safest it has been in 20 years and pointed to the 16% decrease in murder so far in 2025 and the 19% decrease in 2024 as proof. Nakinski Robinson, TVJ News.
So when you see Stedman Fuller echoing the calls for the government, you hear they say a major partnership coming for the JUTC. So based on the timeline, there'll be no election before July because they need to institute the next 100 buses. The next 100 buses is a part of them electoral strategy to give buses to Montego Bay, to give buses to Portland, to give buses to Clarendon, The 100 more buses to come is a part of them electoral strategy. So there is no election until the buses roll out. And the buses never roll out 2020, 2021, 2022. The buses came in the year that the election or them put in the first is generalship, you know. It's a set of generalship and generalship government. You remember like last year them come and tell you say una go pay $50 for go up on the bus there. But Jamaica, how long will that $50, $100? Right after them lose the election, you know. And when the PNP, Jamaica, there is no money at JUTC, you know. So who is maintaining these buses? If there is no money in the JUTC, who maintaining these buses? Who maintaining the JUTC? If you know how JUTC mashed down, because of cronyism, right after, you know, right after. And what they did today, last night, was name them 3 senators, you know. The 3 musketeers came in last night. Delano, Ali Button. Him can't call him Ali Button again, you know. Him say you have to call him the general, you know. Him say him is now the general. Plus the doctor man with them get a senator. But you must ask yourself, Jamaica, why were these senators important to put in now? Why did Delano get the senator? Holness not giving Delano the seat. Him Adam at Delano not getting the seat. So allegedly, him trade off with Delano to put Delano in the Senate so that Delano can stay in the Senate for a while Stam Tavares Finson, son Christopher Tavares, get Carl Samuda seat. But I don't know if Carl Samuda go and work with that one. Then him take out Feder out of the Senate because him send Feder down a Mike Henry seat. But I don't know if Mike Henry settled on that yet. Why him take out Ransford Bryan out of the Senate? That is the big one. Why Jamaica was Ransford Bryan taken out of the Senate? Is there any truth that Ransford Bryan is being tipped to become the new chairman of the Integrity Commission? I'm going to say it again, you know. Remember that Justice Seymour Panton ends his chairmanship of the Integrity Commission the end of this month. And there's no plan by this administration to renew the contract of the chairman and the board of the Integrity Commission. Is there any plans by the Wellness administration to take up a former senator and turn him into the head and the chairman of the Integrity Commission? I am asking tonight, Jamaica, because Jamaica, where I sit and what I know them plan, imagine if they can do this for Portmore. What else will they flex their muscles to do? I'm going to ask again. Why in a God's earth, Courtney, a senator like Ransford Bryan, who was so important for them, why would you remove Ransford? Why would he resign, Courtney? Why would he resign? Is it to become the head of the IC? And when he becomes the head of the IC as the chairman, he will throw away those illicit aid investigation. And I go and say, if my Golding not plan for, if my Jamaica, when you say Ransford can be him say Ransford can be the chairman because he's not a retired judge. Because he's not a retired judge, Chamberlain, you say him can be. What? Chamberlain? Chamberlain are all who talking. You, Dr. Scar, come here. You don't know how this government with the majority always change the constitution and the laws of the land to suit their agenda. I'm going to ask again, doesn't this government have a history, Jamaica, of changing the laws of the land to suit their prime minister? Rowena, you can go on if you want. You say me too biased. Hey, Rowena, no problem. When you gone, 20 more come.
What can go so?
When you say me a freeze up over here, it's not me a freeze up at them. I report the live over TikTok. Come over YouTube now. The YouTube live nice, you know, guys. You come over the YouTube, man. But I'm going to say Jamaica. With the precedents that this man has set, anything is possible under his watch and leadership. Anything is possible under his watch and his leadership. Somebody sent me something this morning that happened at Bradley Avenue where Dennis Chung was talking. And I believe it is very important to share what Dennis Chung said, Jamaica, because I have some questions for Dennis Chung. Listen to these arguments by Dennis Chung, Jamaica.
We have Dennis Strong on the line speaking about the SSL debacle, and you were right in the midst of speaking about how we view it from an accountant's perspective, Dennis.
Yeah, so let me say first that financial institutions fail every day all over the world, especially in the US. Remember FTX, right? Recently, that was a big thing. The government cannot take up taxpayers' money and compensate anyone, right? I mean, that would be a serious violation on behalf of the government if that were to be done. Remember, what happened with the FinSac situation is that they bought into the organization and took over the organizations, took over the debts of the organization. And it's on that basis that they pump capital into it. Now, if we follow the story that most of the money did not get to SSL, even if the government were to buy out SSL assets and prop it up, then what would happen is that most of that money that did not reach SSL would not be compensated back anyway, right? So that's a big problem. And what has to happen is that whoever's money did not reach, then they have to take personal action now against the individual. So that is something outside of the scope of the SSL. So the scope of the audit is not going to discover where that money went necessarily, right? I have my suspicions on that, right, as to what happened. I don't think that the persons who took the money took it deliberately to just take it out one time and steal it. I think that just like a Ponzi scheme, what might have happened is they say, let me take this money and see if I can make it in an investment, make some money off of it, and then put it back. I think that's what they got caught up in, right? Mm-hmm. So I don't think that there's anything for the government to give back to those investors, including both who might have gotten shafted in that way, right? So there's no liability on the government. There wouldn't be any liability on the regulators. That's a straight situation with the person who took the money. And what the investigation needs to happen now, I think if that information comes out, then criminal prosecution, criminal investigation can now start to take place against the persons that Bo's team would have had interaction with. There's a statement in a saying in Latin in economics called caveat emptor, right? That means let the buyer beware. And it's a fundamental principle, and people need to understand when you are buying a product, even though you have the Consumer Affairs Commission, or when you are buying a service, right, which this is, then what you as a buyer need to do, the economics places the emphasis or the principle of the market on the buyer. Be aware of what you're buying. Do your investigations. And I think that is what got caught up, because I can't understand how you have an investment for years, whoever it is, and you're not monitoring it, for example, with an online app or going in and speaking to someone.
Dennis Strong, good night. Dennis Strong, myself or no other Jamaican is saying that the government should take monies from out the government's coffers to pay Usain Bolt. Was it that what we were saying? Mm-hmm. What the people of Jamaica are saying is that the government of Jamaica should freeze the assets of those who are involved in the SSL Ponzi scheme and turn those assets over to the investors. Isn't that what we are agreeing to? Isn't that what we are agreeing to? Mm-hmm. At no point, Dennis Strong, are we saying that the government should give the money from the government. If I recall, Courtney, mm-hmm. when Nigel Clark was speaking, Nigel Clark said there was about 30 billion US dollars worth of assets in SSL. So why is it that UNI never just come together, dissolve SSL and turn it over back to the investors? am I right to say what I'm saying, or am I wrong to say what I'm saying, Jamaica? At no interval are you saying, and then I want to ask another question. How Bradley Avenue have access to the report and the Parliament doesn't have access to the report? How Bradley Avenue have access to the report and the Parliament and parliamentarians don't have access to the report?
What can go so?
If I recall again, Jamaica, when Nigel Clark spoke at that press conference in 2023, he said to the public, he told the public, Jamaica, that an initial 6.5 million US dollars. He told the Gleaner that the 6.5 initially was what? Invested in SSL. So how Nationwide coming about now to say that the money never pay over? How Nationwide now coming to the public saying to us that the money was never paid over? So what Nationwide know when me and you not know? So I am saying the Crawl report that the government of Jamaica paid for. Here what Dennis Chung said also in the forensic audit. You and I will not know who really steal the money. Wasn't that what he said? Didn't you hear Dennis Chung said, Jamaica? In the forensic audit, you would not know who steal the money. If a forensic audit is to be done into the affairs, you would see the transaction and that amount and where. So how Dennis Chung means they wouldn't know who steal the money? So in a forensic audit, you're not going at the electronic system and the detail and going at the system and pick up and see the pattern and the flow and the transaction. So my question is, how then Dennis Chung going to tell us that in a so how then forensic audits all across the world find the perpetrators of the financial crimes? So how the forensic audit in a Crawl situation, you wouldn't find out who is the stealer and the thief and this fraudster. Or unless everything is deleted. Or unless Jamaica is delete it, you know. So when Dennis Chung come and argue this, it said to myself, and the way in which he spoke. So if they're the forensic audit court, make it make sense now. You know why? Hear my reasoning. So if the forensic audit never show who thief the money, how Jean and Pantan get locked up? I'm going to ask the question again. If the forensic audit Jamaica never show who or how the money get thief, how then the Jean and Pantan get locked up? Make it make sense. Because Dennis Chung's argument is that the forensic audit is not going to show the thief. So if it's not showing the thief, why Jean and Pantan? And in a forensic audit, nothing really can delete. The electronic trail can't really delete. So when I see Dennis Chung come with this argument, so then you are saying what Nigel and the Gleaner reported in 2023 was a lie. So you're saying that Bradley Avenue have the true story? Mm-hmm. Or Isn't this chaos by design, Jamaica? When I hear this story, Courtney, it makes no sense. And this is a web of deception. So I want to ask, Dennis Chung is one of the syndicates like Venetia Phillips? Is Dennis Chung one of the syndicates like Venetia Phillips? Or Dennis Chung alluding to the argument that no, but how Dennis Chung knows that the money never go in there? Then him argue that you should have had an app for monitor the money and this and that and reality. But the gentleman was getting financial statements. So that would have even come in an email. But then if the entire system at SSL, according to the Financial Services Commission, had questionable functioning, even if me did get something upon the system, Courtney, wouldn't the system show me, say, me have this amount of investment? Because to me, Jamaica, if me a look, based on everything, remember, so them say that he might get the statement them. So wouldn't the statements look the same like the financial records online? Wouldn't the statements, Jamaica, look like the financial records online? And if so, Jamaica, how then Dennis Chung come to say a portfolio like that? But you know what is sad about this? It shows that no investment in Jamaica is safe. It shows Jamaica that no investment in this country is safe. Who agrees with me, Jamaica? Who agrees with me? If it is the argument by Dennis Chung, and you know what? Play the next part of the report on the TVJ, and I'm going to come back tonight and fix them business. Listen to that part of Jamaica.
It's almost 2 years since the government hired Kroll Associates UK to probe fraudulent activities at Stocks and Securities Limited SSL, and despite the revelation that the audit is complete, the findings remain unknown. Track star Usain Bolt, who was defrauded close to $2 billion, has been vocal about the issue in recent weeks, raising concerns about the lack of transparency on the investigation. At a media briefing on Thursday, opposition spokesman on finance Julian Robinson demanded answers.
I'm calling for two things. One, for the government to release that forensic report in its totality. Not to continue this exercise of picking and choosing sections of the report and sending it to specific media houses, but to put the entire report on the table so that all Jamaicans can see what took place. That's the first thing. And the second thing is that the government must give us an update. What is the status of the investigations?
Mr. Robinson blasted the government for what he contends is the lack of transparency on the SSL investigations, arguing that Mr. Bolt has since been chastised on social media by Jamaica Labour Party supporters for criticizing the administration. For his part, opposition leader Mark Golding described the outcome of the investigations to date as unsatisfactory.
One relatively junior employee is before the court, but the directorship and senior management of the institution are not facing any kind of criminal proceedings for billions of dollars that have been defrauded from the institution.
And with the opposition's scathing criticism, journalists sought a response from government members on Thursday.
I could not respond to that question. I guess, you know, when you're on the other side, all that was raised on the other side was pure distraction to take away from the realities of what is taking place. It is a political game.
Don't table it. Don't none of drips and drabs of what you think suits your particular political purpose. put the entire report on the table, let the chips fall where they may, and tell us what the status of the investigation is. That's it. The country deserves no less. Usain Bolt and the hundreds of others who were defrauded deserve no less.
Anthony Lug, TVJ News.
I believe the report needs to be released. You, the taxpayers, paid for this report, right? You, the taxpayers of this country, paid for that report. And the report is concluded. And Jamaica don't, the Labour Party don't want to give you the report. What in the report are they covering up? Why are they leaking sections of the report to Bradley Avenue? Who are they protecting? Are they protecting their financiers? Are they protecting their donors, Jamaica? Who are they protecting? Why they don't want to release the report? I am going to ask you tonight again. Who are they protecting? I want to know, Jamaica. Do you recall Jamaica? The government of Jamaica did an investment of the National Health Fund in SSL. Do you recall Jamaica? The National Housing Trust had an investment in SSL. Do you recall, Jamaica, that the National Insurance Fund had an investment in SSL? Do you recall, Jamaica, the Jamaica Banana Industry Catastrophe Fund had an investment in SSL? So I want to know, Jamaica, NHT money, NHF money, National Insurance Fund money, National Jamaica Banana Industry Catastrophe Fund money, and you going to tell me, Jamaica, all of those monies of taxpayers wrap up in SSL, and the government don't want to reveal? Equally, the government don't want to reveal. You don't want to know about your taxpayer. Even if you don't get about UCN own, what happened to the taxpayers' money in this country? What happened to the housing trust money? What them a take out and deduct out of your salary every month end? What happened to that money that them claims them invest? And then the blackboard going come talk about is politics the opposition playing. We have given the government 2 years. 2 years to prosecute. 2 years to lock them down. 2 years to get back the people's investment. And then them going to come to talk about his politics. Blackboard Desmond going to come tell you and I about his politics the opposition playing. It's one thing I can say for Julian Robinson. He's not one of those that get in kias Jamaica. One thing I can say about Julian Robinson, he's not one of them that is going to get involved in the kind of political banter. But when you see a Julian Robinson come out and talk, this government will draw out anybody, you know. This government will draw out everyone and anyone. And when you see a Julian Robinson taking those hard lines, Jamaica, you and I know something is wrong. Wow. So I want to know, Jamaica, just as how they released the archives and not the full details of the FinSAC report, why didn't they release to you and to the public the full report? Could it be the reason why they don't want to release it? That potentially the Prime Minister would be caught up. Could it be, Jamaica, one of the primary reasons they don't want to release it is when the Prime Minister they take out his money again out of SSL, Courtney? What, July or June of 2022? And when did the SSL bang around and forth? January 2023.
Get information.
Why they can't manage another scandal, you know?
No.
They can't manage another scandal. And the Crawl report, forensic as it is, would reveal some. Wow. 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 So when I listen to them,